Hi there, guys. So basically, why I decided to do a quick video along with my message of goodbye is to just let you all know that there are a few things that I really want to impart and leave behind when I move on, rather than just a thank you message saying, gratitude for all the great times. I believe that it is a responsibility of people like me who are at a certain stage in my career, to really pass on what we've learned to ensure that the people who come after us don't make the same mistakes that I did when I was your age. So what I've done is I've put this short video together. I don't know how long it's going to be because I'm going to take it in one shot and try to cover as much as I can in as little time as possible, while not losing the true essence of what I really want to accomplish here. So I've put in messages for 3 different age groups, which I believe are very important, and the messages are quite distinct and in some cases interconnected as well. So what I've done is, my first message is for the 20 somethings. All of you between the ages of 20 and 29 who've started their career, have a few years in and are going to be making some great choices in your career and doing some great stuff in the future. So for you, I have 3 messages. Number 1, get a hold of your personal finances. Your financial freedom is something that you need to start working on in your 20s to ensure that you have that when you're in your 40s. It could be in the form of small investments in SIPs, mutual funds, stock market, fixed deposits, gold, wherever. But start small, but make it a habit of putting aside a certain amount for your future, so that when you are in your 40s or your 50s, you have something to fall back on regardless of what you're doing in your life at that moment. And this could be something that could really make the difference between you being completely financially free and not being dependent on anyone or any company for a job, and living out the life that you want to. The second thing that I want to actually tell you guys in your 20s is, right now is the time when you have abundant energy and you have time as well, because you're not committed to certain things like a growing family, kids, etc. And you have the freedom to do a lot more things than what you would when in your 30s or in your 40s, when responsibilities increase both on a personal front as well as on the professional front. So now is the time to invest in yourself, to start learning something new. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to learn and get more certifications for the job you're doing right now. What I want you to do is completely the opposite. I want you to start learning something that has absolutely nothing to do with your daily job. It could be something as wonderful as learning to play the guitar, learning a new language, learning a new skill like cartography or calligraphy or something of that sort, because you never know when any of these skills will actually help you out in the future. In my case, what I did in my 20s was, out on a whim, I went ahead and learned, did multiple courses on wildlife, animal husbandry, spirituality, psychology, etc. Everything that caught my fancy, I went ahead and did it. So what happened is, now I have all that knowledge to back up on when I embark on whatever I'm going to do next. I have so many options available for me. And one thing I regret is not learning to play a musical instrument, which could have been actually quite charming in these times. But then invest in yourself and learn something new, because you never know how that's going to really help you out in the future. Learning additional skills is great, but that's more on the professional front, and after a while it starts to seem like actual school or work, which is not what you want with when you learn a new skill or a new language. So go ahead and find time to do that. Third most important thing for your career is to learn to go the extra mile. When something is expected of you, do more. If you are expected to deliver A, B, and C, ensure that you do D, E, and F as well. Not as a way to curry favor with your boss or to, appear to be different or to put down your your fellow co-workers. What this is basically to ensure that to show that you have what it takes to go beyond the call of duty to do what is required. Now, whenever you are expected to do a certain thing, it always helps to go a little bit more, because then that is the standard that people put you at and people expect from you. And this increased delivery that you do ensures that you stand out from the crowd, and whoever you report to or whoever you work with know that working with you, they would have to up their game as well, which ensures that the whole environment or the whole culture that you work in gets elevated along with the way that you work. So always go for that extra mile and do that something a little bit extra that can add value to anything you do. Always remember these golden words. How you do anything is how you do everything. So always go for that extra mile, because very soon it will become a habit that you will start implementing in all other factors of your life, whether it's personal, whether it's relationships, whether it's financial, spiritual, etc. People can count on you to do that little bit extra more that will actually add a lot more value to what is expected. All the best, guys. You have the whole world ahead of you. You live in a time with so much opportunity that all you have to do is open your eyes, grab them, whether it's for learning, whether it's for doing things, whether it's for enhancing your whole lifestyle as well. All the best for you. You guys are the future, and I wish you the best. Now, coming to my fellow peers, the guys in the 30s, guys who've just crossed their 20s, now have a whole new set of responsibilities, both at home and at work. You're probably a mid-level or a senior level manager by now. There's a lot of expectation from you at work. You're probably a husband, a wife, a father, or a mother as well. And there's a whole lot that's being expected from you at home as well. I have 3 points for you, or 3 advices, or 3 life lessons that I want you to ensure that it can really help you out. Those 3 things are: first one, very important. If you're still relying on a single income, it means that you're just one step away from being broke. Ensure that you have multiple levels of passive income that supports your primary income. It could be interest from a fixed deposit. It could be a small amount that you make every month on YouTube. It could be, a performance-led thing where you perform once or twice a month and you get paid for that. Whatever it is, ensure that you have one more income, or, multiple levels of income ideally than your primary source. Remember, if you have one source of income, you're one step away from being broke. Second thing, join as many groups and associations as possible. The moment you hit 30 and every year that goes by, you will find it more and more difficult to make friends, because everyone you interact with would be from your work circle or someone whom you live close by, etc. But it's very difficult to find friends who share common interests. So join organizations, join clubs, join academies, join groups of people who love doing things that you do as well, and make new relationships, because that is going to be the toughest thing for you as a 30-year-old. If you're not married, meet new people. It opens up avenues to forming lasting relationships. If you are married, look for friends, men, women, all of you. You need more friends. You need more variety in your life. After all, having to look and interact with just one person and or the kids all the time is going to be tiring, and that's not what you want to be doing in your 30s. Next important thing, or my third message to you, is to have an alter ego. You need to establish this in your 30s, that the company that you work for or the job that you do primarily does not define you. When someone asks, hey, what do you do? Our immediate reaction is to go ahead and state our designation and tell the name of the company we work for. That is not who you are. You need to get that into your head really quickly in your 30s, because that is going to be a defining factor in how others perceive you. You need to have a much more rounded personality in your 30s, so that you seem interesting, and that can actually help progress all your career and all your personal growth ideals and goals that you have in life. For example, when people ask me what you do, I usually say I'm a mythologist and a wildlife enthusiast who also happens to have a full-time job as the head of business development at a company that deals in digital marketing and websites. So my job and my designation does not define me. It's who I am as a person. And if you do not have that in control right now, it's just going to get more and more difficult as you grow older, making you a very one-dimensional person, which means you're not that very interesting for companies or for organizations to take an interest in you. You'll probably end up working in the same company for 15, 20 years, growing there in the ladder, but then it's not you who's being recognized, it's the company that you work for and the job that you do, which definitely you are not. So guys, in your 30s, take action now. It's now or never. Trust me, my 30s, I started things really late. It took me a long time to get into this realization, but now finally I'm just breaking free from all of this and trying to build out something that I feel personally fulfilled with as I go along. Now, my third group that I want to address is my 40-somethings. Now, I really don't have much to talk to you because I haven't hit 40 yet and I don't know what the life after 40 is all about. There are probably a few people around us who can actually tell us what that means. But to be honest, I have a few ideas about what my 40s should look like or what an ideal 40s life should be. Well, the first thing is find ways to find time. Find ways or create ways to spend time with your family. Your children are growing up at an alarming rate and it's high time. I think most of them would be between the ages of 7 and 12 by now. And then they are actually looking to you as a role model. So they don't want to see someone who's not involved with the family, spends all their time working. You're working really hard to provide for your family, but that is not what the message that you want to leave to your children, saying that work is everything and you really have to sacrifice everything else for your children and for your family. You need to be there. You need to spend time with them. You need to watch them grow, because this is the time when you can actually impart what you've learned to the next generation. Second message to you guys is don't make the same mistakes our parents did. You know, our parents, they brought us up. They did the best of what they knew how to do. And I'm 100% sure that we would do the best at what we know how to do as well. But we know some glaring mistakes which our parents did. Don't repeat them. Break the cycle. You need to ensure that the kids or your future generations are living their dreams and not yours. For that, you need to be a role model and start living out your dreams in whichever small way possible. Let's say you always wanted to be a musician. Spend your Saturday evenings playing the instrument of choice or singing in some place. Create a YouTube channel where you just put out stuff just for the fun of it. You are really living out your passions, and that sends the right message to your kids that they are responsible for their dreams and they're not responsible for yours. Please break the cycle. You can do it. Don't wait for the next generation. Finally, one very important thing which could be said to your 30s, people in the 30s and the people in the 40s as well. If you've never traveled, please start now. Travel is something that can truly open your mind and introduce you to so many new things that you really can't imagine the kind of impact that it will have in your lives. When you meet new people, you understand new cultures, it brings a whole new perspective to what you want to do in life. Travel, spend your money on travel, spend your money on experiences. It could be just you, it could be with your friends, with your family, with your kids, it could be with anyone, but travel and see more of the world. The world is too beautiful and you're earning enough to spend every single moment in that one city or that one country where you live. You need to travel as much as possible. Come on, guys. A return ticket with a vacation, a 4-day vacation to Bali just costs around 45,000, 50,000 rupees. I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than an iPhone, than the latest iPhone, or probably just enough to pay 2 EMIs of your whichever fancy gadget that you've picked up. invest in travel rather than liabilities or equipment, because we will have a tendency to do that in our 40s because we have a lot more money at our disposal than before. And rather than investing in all these things, invest in travel, because that could really create the difference between how you perceive your work and how others perceive you as well, because you will be brimming with new ideas that you've learned from around the world. Finally, I just wanted to say I started all this late. I realized all this late. I didn't want this to be the same with other people around me. And all I did was try to take these 15 minutes and just pass on some kind of information to everyone. Now, everyone asks me what I plan to do with my life after this, because, I really don't know what I'm doing next. But I really have learned a lot, and I plan to put that into practice. And as the saying goes, the more you give, the more you get. So I just thought I'll put out what I know and my 2 pence for what it's worth to help you guys do what will help you become your true self, or how I like to call it, finding your nth variable so that you can multiply who you are as a person, and just do awesome stuff, you guys. So sorry for this long video. I'm not sure whether it's been of any value, but if you've spent the last 15-16 minutes listening to this, do drop me a line, guys, and just let me know what you think. You can always WhatsApp me and stuff, or drop in a comment wherever. I probably put this up on YouTube, so you can probably drop in a comment there as well. I just wish every single person all the best. You are meant to be doing much, much, much more in life than just sitting around and watching the days go by and living a life of mediocrity. All of you are destined for greatness. All you need to do is put in a little extra effort to find what it is that will propel you to the greatness that you deserve and that you truly need to be known for. Thank you, guys. I love you all.